Hello and welcome to the Bet365 Stadium here at Stoke City for Leicester City's next pre-season game. I'm Dan Bates and I'm here of course with Matt Elliott, former Leicester City club captain. Welcome along, Matt. I mean, the weather compared to the last time we were doing this at Cambridge couldn't be any worse, could it?
Stark contrast, isn't it? I was a bit worried about how the programme was going to go ahead, but thankfully we got shelter above us. The pitch is looking superb. Really, the players are out there warming up now and the weather seems to have calmed down a little bit. Perfect conditions for playing football.
Yeah, it looks great out there, and obviously I know we've got half a squad here, half a squad at Rotherham. How do you think that will go with two different sets of squads, and what do you think the thinking is behind that?
Yeah, it's raised a few eyebrows. I mean, it's not something you see every day of the week. There are two fixtures on one afternoon, but it's just as a result. I don't know what thing it is to actually play those two squads on the same day. It's a weekend, it's a Saturday, it's as simple as that, I suppose. But the amount of players they've got in the squad, 37, I believe, senior squad, professional players. And that's, on top of that, you've still got development players as well, I believe. It takes some managing, and Brendan Rodgers has mentioned about, a bit of a strong word, culling, that amount of players, so he can focus more intimately on the players that really matter. But I think today, this is always going to be the bigger fixture of the two, I think. The stadium, the opposition, and that's been borne out by the selection that Brendan Rodgers has taken. This starting 11 is going to be there or thereabouts the starting team against Wolves, you would imagine, in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, so we've got the full game here at Stoke City with in-vision updates from Rotherham, but if you compare this to the pre-season friendly games Leicester have had so far, certainly is the biggest test, the biggest opposition, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very sort of gentle incline, hasn't it? In terms of the standard of opposition, I think. Similar leagues, I know Scunthorpe, Cheltenham and Cambridge, but I just thought, the test has been a little bit harder each time. Leicester have cruised it pretty much, in truth. Some people were saying, perhaps could have looked for stiffer opposition, but it was getting those minutes under the belt, the energy back in the legs, and now they've got an upgrade today against Stoke, who are going to be tough opposition, localish derby, a little bit of an edge to it, albeit pre-season, bit of rivalry between the two clubs, and Stoke are going to be coming all out to try and impress themselves against top dogs, which Leicester are involved in these days.
We talked about that, didn't we, at Cambridge last time during the week, about Stoke and how they'll approach a game, because they were a Premier League side not so long ago, so they'll be really fired up for this one, right?
You would think so. If they're not, then the question's going to be asked by the manager, aren't they? But a lot of these players as well, some of them played at higher level and will still feel they're capable of playing high level, if not with Stoke. Maybe put themselves in the window a little bit. Sounds a bit sinister, but that's how it can operate sometimes. But from Leicester's point of view, they'll be under no illusions that it's going to be a tough game. But they've got a little bit of a swagger about them these days. I mean, you look at that team, the starting line up there, it's full of talent. It's not just good, steady workman-like players. They are genuine talents, and there's 4 or 5, 6 even match winners in that team.
I mean, we had Brendan Rodgers on the show after the Cambridge game on Tuesday, didn't we? You were really impressed by what he had to say, particularly the way he teaches his squads and his side to press up, and it's something that we've seen in the squad towards the end of last season, wasn't it? And there's a hunger, there's a belief, there's a desire in there. Yeah,
the relatively young squad, much has been made of that, but with that comes an enthusiasm and a hunger and a desire not just to play football and win, but to learn as well. And in truth, there aren't many better coaches than Brendan Rodgers to learn from. Tactically and technically very astute. I think he speaks exceptionally well about the game, and the players will respond to that. You can tell how excited they are to be part of this vision that Brendan has, and they're coming up with the answers so far. Listen, it's early days, it's pre-season, not even a ball's been kicked in anger, but the potential is there, and I think a lot of people realise that, and the players themselves do, most importantly.
Well, let's take a look back at the highlights then from that game at Cambridge. An impressive 3-0 win.
A really good noise from the Blue Army behind that goal. Another corner for Maddison. Swung in. Vardy left it. Comes through to Chilwell. That's a good ball. Maguire! Leicester lead finally. Harry Maguire salutes the Foxes fans. And just short of the hour mark, Leicester get the goal they deserve.
It was a great ball in from Ben Chilwell, you have to say. And what Harry Maguire does brilliantly well is he just hangs out. As that ball comes into the box, you see it's not a bad clinch, it's not a great clinch, but Chilwell and Maguire's just lurking at the back. Taft is ball watching, doesn't know where Maguire is, and that enables Maguire to get the run on him, and he just comes in and powers that header home. This time the keeper absolutely no chance of saving that. Fantastic header from Maguire.
And opening up the space for Christian Fuchs. Harvey Barnes now. Iheanacho in the middle. Barnes does really well. Iheanacho does even better. And it's going to be yet another victory in what's turning out to be a brilliant pre-season for Leicester City.
Well, as you said, Chris, fantastic build-up play again. That quick, sharp movement of the ball finds its way to Fuchs, and Harvey Barnes does brilliantly here. You know, composure, just get that ball, bang, nicely floated ball, nice weight. And just watch Iheanacho, he just pulls off to the back post here again. The Cambridge defenders sort of ball watching almost. Iheanacho just pulling off to the back post. Thank you very much. Looks easy, it wasn't. Credit where credit's due to Iheanacho. He hasn't had the best of times in a Leicester City shirt, but you see how much that means to him. Casper just watches that one go wide.
Here's Iheanacho. Leicester looking to finish with a flourish. Iheanacho's hit the post, and Barnes is denied. Divi Mitov's having the night of his life.
Well, again, another fantastic move. This time Iheanacho just driving into the heart of the defence. Lovely angled shot, gets unlucky, you have to say. Iheanacho just places that ball.
Here's Hamza Chowdhury. He's up and running in pre-season, and Leicester finally getting the goals they deserve late on at the Abbey.
Well, again, this is all down to persistence. You know, Cambridge trying to play their way out. Leicester right on the front foot, starting with Barnes. Cambridge just guilty of, you know, just being a little bit lackadaisical on the edge of their own box, and Leicester taking full advantage. Hamza Chowdhury right at the centre of that. He closes it down. Elliot Ward doesn't move his feet quick enough. As you say, Hamza Chowdhury, nice little slide route pass into the corner. Keeper absolutely no chance. But that's all down to persistence, closing the ball down, high tempo.
Yes, Leicester made it 3 wins from 3 with that 3-0 win over Cambridge United at the Abbey Stadium on Tuesday. Matt, you were impressed, weren't you, by the display and with one man in particular?
Yeah, very much so. I think impressive performances all round, but this man on the screen now, he stood out for me from the start. I suppose it's a bit basic to say so. He is a quality performer. We know that. He showed it back in the last season, but he's really come back strongly in the close season, and he's obviously made a decision to settle. Here he is, just feeding balls through, instrumental in everything, but he's like, okay, I've made my decision, I'm going to make the most out of it, and he's settled right in there. He's pulling the strings, dictating play. Endless examples of little slide ball passes that he's become renowned for already.
It was during the first half, wasn't it, that we were looking back at Leicester's best chances. They didn't break the deadlock before the break, but during those chances, every single one was involving their team.
Yeah, you did feel it was a matter of time, and Leicester was sort of playing at their own pace, controlled but subdued at times. They upped the ante in the second half, but here we are, Maguire pushing forward as he often does, creates that extra man, creates a space in turn for Tillemans to have the strike, but he's been given a licence to, you know, his strengths are as an attacking midfielder, not necessarily an all-round midfielder or doing a defensive role like Ndidi, although he's capable of that, but Ndidi, Chowdhury, Mendy, those of that ilk give him the platform to go and express themselves along with James Maddison, and it works.
Well, as we've already talked about, of course, there's a Leicester squad here, there's a Leicester squad up at Rotherham United, so let's go to our correspondent Nick Walsh with an update from South Yorkshire.
Thank you, Dan, and a very big welcome to New York Stadium as Leicester City continue their pre-season preparations here against Rotherham United. In terms of headline team news, The Millers hand a start to Daniel Everson, who of course recently completed a season-long loan move from King Power Stadium here to New York Stadium to join Paul Warne's men in League One for the season upcoming. As for the Foxes, a start in goal for Danny Ward. It will be a back four of Christian Fuchs and James Justin either side of Wes Morgan and Kaglar Soyuncu. A midfield holding three of Adrian Silva and Papi Mendy. Also Andy King. Up top, Kelechi Iheanacho, the point of the attack. Either side, Damari Gray and Harvey Barnes. We'll have updates throughout the afternoon here at New York Stadium. It is Rotherham United against Leicester City.
Well, thanks very much to Nick there at Rotherham United. It looks equally grim up there in South Yorkshire as it is here in Stoke as well. We're just saying about, we talked about the two games there, because Brendan Rodgers obviously has set it one of his teams up there as well, so he'll have a close eye on that. Obviously he's got the game here. Do you think that he'll switch that game off? Like, will that be out of his mind throughout the 90 minutes here, or will he want updates from that, or like wait until full time and then he'll really look?
You know, he'll be concentrating on the job in hand, won't he, which is here against Stoke at the Britannia, and plenty of time to modern technology as it is. I'm sure he'll get a VHS tape of it somewhere along the line, won't he? And he'll be able to examine and study that game as well. So, yeah, he's got to cover all areas, but this is his primary concern. This is pretty much his starting lineup, you would think. I know there's always going to be changes for whatever reason, but there's a strong lineup here, and he's going to be focusing and looking to see what the next stage of this group of players' development is. And obviously he has to combine that as a group, squad of players, but it's the ones who play in your strongest team, your starting team, that really matter, and the others can come and fill in down the line.
Well, let's hear from the man himself then, Brendan Rodgers, who spoke to us too after the game on Tuesday.
So that allows you to build pressure against teams and really pen them in, and then if you can work the ball at speed throughout the game, eventually those opportunities come. And I always think that, in particular in that, when you can press teams really well, you're going to get opportunities at the beginning of games and normally towards the end as well.
Oh, without doubt, yeah.
Just finally looking ahead to Saturday, the games against Stoke and Rotherham, what do you expect to see from those?
Well, I think we go up another notch in terms of our preparation. Again, the teams will be mixed. So yeah, it's just a continuation of the good work. The players will be in tomorrow afternoon working hard and getting ready for that. But I'm very pleased at this stage of the season that the fitness is starting to improve. Like I say, it's great to get the players back, because now we can really look at the strategy over these next number of weeks and really hone in on the details that allows us to be prepared for the first game.
Matt, you get the idea from Brendan that he's very happy, isn't he, with where his side are so far during pre-season. They're probably hitting targets that he'd maybe set of them, but he was happy, wasn't he, after that game on Tuesday?
Yeah, rightly so, but it is just that. It's pre-season. Brendan Rodgers will be aware of that. You know, you can look $1 million through pre-season campaign, and then once the Premier League starts, things don't go your way for whatever reason, a bit of bad luck, someone makes a wicket, things go against it, all of a sudden pressure can turn. One defeat and people are on at you and criticising, aren't they? You know, speculating about what's right and what's wrong. But he's experienced enough to be able to handle that. But I always find it very intriguing when he's talking, that he captures your attention, doesn't he? You want to listen to what he says. And yeah, that's me as an ex-player, stroke in the media, a representative of a club. The players must think the same though. They're like, what's the manager got to say today? What can I pick up of him today? What can he help me do? I think he's very keen to impress. He puts it across that while football is there to be enjoyed, you know, if you're happy at work, then you perform better, but it is a place of work as well. He's very detailed. He mentions that word quite often, doesn't he? The technical aspect of it. You know, it's quite intricate. There's an amount of individualism there. You know, it gives the players the freedom to express themselves, but within that structure. And it's a good combination. And it's pretty impressive so far. But listen, all this means nothing unless you get the results when it matters. But I'm sure Leicester will fancy themselves to do well. So.
When you talk about those players and you just look out there, we've got Ben Chilwell just in front of us warming up with Ricardo, two young players, particularly Ben Chilwell, and then the England under-21s that went away, the contingent of them. Chowdhury's here today, James Maddison, of course, Damari Gray, Harvey Barnes up at Rotherham. Yeah. But for that group of players in particular, and you, Tielemans, another young player, to have a manager like Brendan Rodgers, the fact that he must have that almost an aura about him that the players see and take so much from him.
Yeah, I think he has, certainly initially, and then he'll have that respect. And, he's got that. He's shown that he's receiving that. But down the line, you have to keep earning that because people are still assessing your players to manager and vice versa. So you get what you deserve. And but those young players there, I mean, what an array of talent that is.
It's an incredibly exciting squad.
I mean, Gray and Barnes representing England under 21s. Okay, I know it didn't go to plan, but they're not even featured here in what is effectively the first team, certainly 11-ish. But that team that's playing at Rotherham is pretty strong. It's a sign of the times, and it's an indication of what Leicester City are all about. Which
is so exciting for that pocket of Leicester fans that have made the trip down the A50 here to Stoke, that they must be so excited. You can tell you're excited with what's going on here at Leicester.
No, that's right. I mean, obviously, 2016 was miraculous and incredible, and not expectation but hopes have been built up since then. It hasn't really materialised, and you probably didn't think it was going to, not to that level again, or even top 6. People are looking at Leicester as genuine contenders. Now that can be dangerous in itself, because the players can start believing it and they can start strutting around a little bit and taking their eye off the ball, not being properly focused and tenacious. But I don't think Brendan Rodgers will let them do that, even if they did have a tendency to go that way. But it's exciting times for the players. It doesn't matter what supporters, what we think. It's what that group of players, how they believe in themselves and their manager and how they react. Because they've got the ability, without a doubt. Can they develop it and become all-round, hardened, sort of seasoned professionals allied with the talent they've got?
Well, those players have just headed down the tunnel here at the Bet365. One of the players who's up at the New York Stadium at Rotherham is Papi Mendy, who spoke after that win again on Tuesday evening at Cambridge.
Very difficult because the weather is a little bit too hot, but we try to play and to success to find the goal, but we didn't success. But in second half we play better and we find to score goals. Yeah, that's fine.
On a personal level, how has your pre-season been in terms of fitness? Do you feel like you're on a good way?
Yeah, on a good way, yeah. Step by step. I think the next game will be more better for the fitness. But we have a little bit more connection together, and that's fine for the future.
We've just seen a few of the international lads have been back again this evening. Nice to have those back in the group.
Yeah, nice to see the lads, because they are good lads and a good footballer, and we need all the players for make the good season today. This season.
I asked him there about the international players that came back for their first games on Tuesday, the young lads that we were just talking about, and he had a smile on his face. Again, talking about the squad, there seems to be very much a unity and a togetherness in this squad.
Yeah, there is, and that's quite difficult to maintain at times because there's a fine balance. He's saying, it's great to see the lads. It can't be that good for him because Hamza Chowdhury's taking his place and he's playing at Rotherham. But harsh reality of professional football, you're competing against each other even though you're teammates. But it's a friendly rivalry in a competition, and Papi Mendy's aware of that. Hamza Chowdhury's a big talent coming through, indeed he's there already established. That's what you want, competition for places. The more competition you've got, it tends to happen at the bigger clubs where they've got a bigger amount of quality players, and Leicester are one of those teams these days.
We've already talked about Yuri Tielemans and the impact he had on Tuesday, but another one of those that came back was Harvey Barnes, and you were very impressed, weren't you, with Harvey Barnes on Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bit of an affinity with both these players on the screen there. Back in the day I was involved in the academy at their age group. Both smashing lads, both supremely talented in their own right. Harvey Barnes, for me, there's still that little edge to his game that needs tidying up, because he is a polished, accomplished footballer, right? At whatever level he's playing at. It's just not quite knitting together properly, and he's still very impressive. When it does come together, he's going to be something else. Because it came on half hour, or did he play 45 minutes?
Half time.
Could have got himself 3 or 4 goals the other night, quite easy. You see his frustration every slide run over the bar. He's direct, he's purposeful, he goes at the heart of defences, quality, the all-round quality. Look at that ball, just whipped it there. He's capable of finishing from distance, maybe not that angle. What a cross, powerful, he's tenacious, he's aggressive, so many attributes. And I can't wait till it probably kicks.
I know we've got a battle with the PA currently now, but how do you see this game going very quickly before we do hand over to the commentators?
I expect Leicester to be in control. Again, they're that sort of team these days. Stoke, there's going to be no pushover, whatever team they've got out, whatever squad, however they rotate it. But they've got a look about them now. Harry Maguire's cruised pre-season. Tillemans is in there. Maddison, Hardy. Perez, we haven't mentioned, is back in the fray today. What a player he looked, didn't he, at Scunthorpe? I mean, obviously he's shown his qualities before. 45 minutes. You knew straight away, right, this is a good buy. Can't wait to see him again as well. So I fancy Leicester again, I've got to say that.
Maybe we can talk about Perez at half-time then, but it is indeed now time pretty much to go over to the commentators because we're nearing kick-off here. So coming up just after the break, it'll be Jerry Taggart and James Fielden.
We are an instinct that ignites action. We are a journey, taking one step more. And we are the heart, beats as one. We are proud to be more. De Montfort University, Leicester.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Bet365 Stadium here in Staffordshire. We're all here to bring you the action from the latest stop in the Foxes pre-season friendly schedule as Stoke City host Leicester City. The Foxes fans have travelled here in their numbers, as you can see. A wet and miserable day here in the Potteries. With almost perfect playing conditions, and there certainly won't be the need for a drinks break here this afternoon after the heatwave earlier this week. This is game 4 of Brendan Rodgers' side's pre-season list, and he'll be looking to get performances a little more over fitness at this point, with that Premier League opener against Wolves just 2 weeks away. They already have wins against Scunthorpe, Cheltenham and Cambridge. Today is a little different, however, with the squad split across 2 matches, meaning most first-team regulars will get significant game time. And the Foxes' boss is with us here in North Staffordshire. Opponent Stoke have invested significantly in recent times, but they've been a little more frugal this summer as relatively new boss Nathan Jones looks to reshape his squad ahead of another long championship season. 5 free transfers have already arrived this summer after some double-figure spending in the last couple of windows. There are mixed feelings among the Potters faithful, but today is a chance for them to see some of the new faces for the first time, with just 1 week to go until they get their 2019-20 campaign underway. The 2 teams with us then here at the Bet365, both sides in their traditional home colours. The other half of the first team squad are at Rotherham United in South Yorkshire, and Nick Walsh is standing by there to bring us the latest from the New York Stadium throughout the afternoon. We'll be with him as and when there is some news to bring you. But as you can see, Leicester City have brought a very strong side here this afternoon, captained by Kasper Schmeichel. And the 2 sides going through the handshakes at the moment. And Ryan Shawcross wearing the captain's armband for Stoke. Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans, the defensive duo there. Looking to continue a rock-solid partnership. Hamza Chowdhury getting more minutes as well. Jamie Vardy there. Maddison. All the regulars in town this afternoon. We can take a check on the 2 sets of team news, starting with Leicester City. A strong side as expected, and 2 of the 3 summer signings start in the shape of Ayoze Perez and Yuri Tielemans. We're interested to see how they get on here in the wet conditions. Mainly youth on the bench as well. Victor Johansson, the sub-goalkeeper. For Stoke City, an entirely different 11 to the one that played Lincoln City earlier this week. Home debuts for Tommy Smith, who's come in from Huddersfield, Jordan Cousins, who joined from QPR, and Nick Powell, who joined from Wigan. He's expected to start at the top of a diamond for Nathan Jones' side. Stoke still have quite a big squad. Their subs bench is slightly more extensive than Leicester's. The Leicester side, including Yuri Tielemans, the Belgian. He will be the one that plenty of eyes are looking on this afternoon. Joined from Monaco on a permanent basis, and the man who came in from Newcastle United, Ayoze Perez, who we expect to start wide today. Delighted to say that alongside me for commentary this afternoon is a man who's played for both sides, former Foxes defender Jerry Taggart. Jerry, as a man who has played for both of these teams and obviously used to play in this stadium, how good is it to be back?
Yeah, always nice to be back at Stoke. I always get a warm welcome when I get back here. Obviously helped them out when I was playing here. I was playing with a lot of younger players back then, so I was sort of doing all the coaching on the pitches, so to speak, and that sort of obviously went down with the faithful. Where obviously my time at Leicester, a lot more experience in the team, a lot more characters in the team, and a lot of players that have played at the top level. So two contrasting clubs at that time, but obviously Stoke have had a lot more ups and downs, as well as Leicester as well during the years.
We are ready to get underway. Steve Bates is the referee this afternoon. He is from Staffordshire, so hasn't had too far to travel for this one. In terms of competing in this kind of game, obviously the way pre-season goes is that you build up fitness and you build up the level of opponents as well. You start with the lower league sides and you get to ultimately like championship level before they play Atalanta at King Power Stadium next week. But it is less than half full here. Is it a case of you having to raise your levels, or is everyone fighting for their place and know they have to put a good performance in?
I think now it's getting to the point, the pre-season, where people are fighting for places, so they've got to forget about the lack of crowd, lack of atmosphere, and just play their game.
Early chance here for Leicester. It was taken on by Jose Perez. Vardy was lurking just ahead of him. Got a good intervention. Jack Butland, the Stoke City goalkeeper. It's a forceful pass there into Danny Bart. James McLean is the left back today. Forward by Ricardo, but given away. A chance here for Stoke to stretch their legs for the first time. Into Vokes. Stoke's front two cost around 20 million between them last year, which is quite massive money really for a championship side. That one whipped in high, well headed away there by Maguire. And helped out further by Johnny Evans. Leicester really going after Stoke in the early stages here, not giving them time on the ball at all. It's rolled back by Shawcross.
Yeah, well, that's the type of style that Brendan Rodgers has implemented here at Leicester City. He wants a high press and a quick press, and that's exactly what you see.
Evans stepping in. Great composure there, the ball just too high for Ricardo alongside him, and that will be a free kick to Stoke. Early stages here at the Bet365, and a reminder again that the other half of the first team squad are playing at Rotherham United this afternoon, and we will get reports from there as and when throughout this game. Stoke with this free kick then. Sent in. Not too much of a danger though, and in the end Leicester get the free kick.
He's just read the situation there, Johnny. He's taking a little knock in the head for his troubles. And he was in the wars the other night at Cambridge where he had to come off, but thankfully he's okay today.
Maguire into Maddison, trying to find room between the lines, and Afobe got after him straight away to prevent any further progress. Albrighton into Maddison. Combination play there. Vardy just couldn't get his footwork right. Maguire with a lovely cushion header. Chowdhury just beyond Ben Chilwell.
Just seen a little glimpse there of that interplay between Maddison, Tielemans and Vardy, and that's going to be vital this season. That front line, those attacking players are going to be vital for Leicester this season. We're just seeing little glimpses now early on in this game of them three linking up together, or almost linking up together.
Here's Vokes. Plenty of the play for Stoke were off him. Lucas. Space opening up for the shot there. And again. Neither of them reached the target in the end, but the Stoke fans happy with their side's early half chances here. Approaching the 5-minute mark. And it remains Stoke 0, Leicester 0.
Yeah, again, you'd Sam Clucas, a player who's been around in recent times at the top level, and he won't be asking, for a second time to have a shot. So it was important there that Leicester got close to him and block that shot. So it's decent defending.
Maguire underneath this. Header given away there though, and a chance here for Stoke to come forward with Joe Allen. Back for McLean. Of course, in theory, Stoke are about a week ahead of Leicester in terms of pre-season. They start their championship campaign on the 3rd of August against Queen's Park Rangers here.
You can see with Stoke as well, James, that they're more than willing to keep the ball, try and play through the thirds. It's very similar style to Leicester, even though it's a different formation slightly. They're definitely a team that look to play through the thirds.
Here comes Stoke now with power. Looking wide for Smith, who's gone on from right back. Lucas. There's a good tempo to this one. Madison fouled again.
That's good play from Madison in that. Great feed from him. This ball, lovely change of direction from Madison. Just outfoxing Stoke defender that.
Stoke have had all their friendlies away from home so far. A 6-0 win at Leek, a 1-1 against Duisburg, the German side, 3-1 at Wrexham, 2-0 at Tranmere, and a 2-1 win at Lincoln on Wednesday. But that was a completely different 11, as we were saying earlier. Leicester with 3 wins, 1-0 at Scunthorpe, 2-1 at Cheltenham, and that 3-0 win against Cambridge United on Tuesday. Madison brings the first save of the game there from Jack Butland. That one had plenty of power and was arrowing towards that bottom corner.
But we've seen so much of this in pre-season. Ricardo Pereira steaming down the wing and not just putting any kind of ball in the box, trying to pick players out. It almost comes to, I think it's Tielemans there, but it finds Madison. First time strike, good save from Butland.
Corner from the right, taken short into the path of Tielemans. Nodded on. No good there for Butland. Wet conditions, players still finding their feet, and he wasn't going to be embarrassed there.
It's good pressure at the minute from Leicester, and it's important again that they pick the balls up as the ball comes in. Yeah, Butland just has to make sure of that one.
Corner delivered in this time towards Albrighton. Still half a chance, and he's behind for another corner kick from the right-hand side.
That's a great ball in from Madison. Pace on the ball almost beats everybody. Stoke just scrambling at the minute, just can't clear the lines.
Leicester players splitting inside the area now. It's in over Maguire's head. Bart into the air. Back out to Chilwell. Tielemans drives that one in. Vardy with the flick. Albrighton driving one. That's deflected. Butland scampering after it. Was that handball? I think the question's being asked by a few down there.
I think if that was a proper game, Butland. Let's have another look at it.
Well, I think we've all been on holiday this summer, but none of us have lost our eyesight.
I think he's slightly lucky there, Jack Butland.
Throw in. I think even in a friendly game it should probably be given as handball.
Yeah,
there are relaxed rules, and
I think he could have been finding himself in the boot if that was a championship game.
Back to Maguire. Nothing lost from a Leicester City point of view. Chilwell. Will Brendan Rodgers be happy with what he's seen so far? Certainly in the last 5 minutes they've certainly edged it.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think, you know, what he's looking to try and get is obviously get his 2 full-backs higher up the pitch, get involved. We've seen Pereira already do that. Not so much Chilwell at the minute. but it's that interlinked play between Tielemans, Perez, Madison and Vardy that is really will excite Brendan Rodgers and the fans as well. So that's going to be an important part of the play.
Madison, who's popped up all over the place so far. Chilwell. Madison. Space opening up for him again. Brings in Ricardo Pereira. Into the empty tile mountain stand on the far side. Back here toward Brighton. Lovely short, sharp passing from Leicester. Just couldn't find a way through at the end of it. The Stoke players asking for a free kick there.
And we've seen a bit of that the other night at Cambridge, especially in the second half. That quick, one-touch football, and that's what undoes teams. And again, almost that ball going into Jose Perez, sorry, just unable to find his feet.
Leicester starting to see more and more of the ball now. Evans. Space to run into for Jose Perez. Nice ball into Vardy. Still Jamie Vardy. Just couldn't find room to squeeze that shot through. Evans, great technique on that ball. Madison, oh, wonderful play. Lovely give and go, Madison going on, he's taken down. That was brilliant there from the Leicester number 10.
Yeah, that's what we've been accustomed to seeing with James Madison. Again, quick, incisive link-up play with Perez, the little give and go, and the Stoke defence just not able to live with him. Here we see the give and go, just runs off the back of Cousins. Yes, there's an argument that he'd lost control, but the momentum of Madison going forwards brought that free kick.
And it looks like the man who won the free kick is going to take it. Can he give Leicester the lead here in Staffordshire? Just a three-man wall. Of course, under the new laws, no Leicester player is able to stand in it. Madison strikes. Had the power, but not the accuracy. He's trying to hit through that one, I think, to try and get some swerve on it.
He's trying to play that dipper where it goes up and over and back down again and swerves when it's going through the air. Just didn't quite pull it off. Decent effort though.
One minor point, and it is a minor point, is that they are playing with the ball they use in the Championship instead of the new Nike match ball, which they'll be using in the Premier League this season, the one that Leicester have been training with all through pre-season. Not every ball moves in quite the same direction.
Yeah, it's very true. They're a bit heavier, the Championship balls, so they won't move as much through the air. You tend to see that. I know in a couple of the games Leicester they've been involved in games where they use both balls, so they've used the Football League ball, and then in the second half they used the Premier League ball.
Brighton. Chilwell forced wide. Vardy will get onto this. Big 50-50 there. Cousins won it. And Stoke come forward with it. Ricardo does just enough. Evans looking for a way out. Chowdhury finds the pass in the end, and Leicester can suddenly throw bodies forward themselves. Madison. There's a man behind him there in Allen. Chilwell. Leicester fans making plenty of noise here. It remains 0-0. As the rain continues to pour here. Grey skies overhead. Brighton. Such a good passer of the ball. Back to Albrighton. Didn't quite catch it right. Still half a chance maybe. Headed away by Shawcross. Tielemans, too much on it.
again, fantastic play, you have to say, from Leicester in the build-up to that move. And yet again, Ricardo Pereira on that right-hand side, picking a pass. I'm just hoping to see this on the replay. No.
Well, it's Stoke City 0, Leicester City 0 here, but there has been a goal at Rotherham United. Watching for us, Nick Walsh.
Thank you, Dan. Yeah, we've got the breakthrough here at New York Stadium. It's Rotherham United 0, Leicester City 1. And the breakthrough coming on 11 minutes. It's a drilled left-footed finish from Kelechi Iheanacho at the point of the Foxes' attack this afternoon. A wonderful finish beyond Daniel Everson, his Leicester City teammate, of course, who's on a season-long loan here with Rotherham United. It came about after good work initially from Harvey Barnes. So the Foxes have their noses in front. And just a word on the conditions here, Dan. It has been absolutely bouncing it down in South Yorkshire this afternoon, and that's making for a slick playing surface, but crucially, Leicester City in front. It's Rotherham United 0, Leicester City 1.
Nick, thank you. So Leicester a goal to the good there. It's Maguire. Phobie chasing after him. Schmeichel with the ball out there. Stoke with a bit of a chance while Nick was telling us about the latest there. Vardy chasing, but it will carry through to Butland. Weather a little bit indifferent all over the country today after the high temperatures earlier this week. It was never going to last, was it? Nodded inside there by Smith. Chowdhury picks it up. Touch off there by Vardy. Brighton just couldn't get there in time. McLean. Up to Vokes. Very much a classic old-school target man. High one over the top, and there's a run here. There is no flag for offside, but there is now.
He just delayed the pass slightly, Joe Allen. It's a good run from Nick Powell through the middle of the Leicester City defence. What's slightly concerning in itself, but thankfully, because Joe Allen just delayed it, Powell just ran into an offside position.
Well, Brighton, lovely curve on that ball. Tielemans, Ricardo. Good ball in towards that near post. It just needed a touch to take it beyond Butland. All Brighton sliding into the LED boards around the perimeter of the pitch. It is, of course, a very wet day. I think he's okay.
Yeah. Again, Ricardo Pereira down that right-hand side. That's 3 times he's got in down that right-hand side. We're not 18 minutes into the game, so that is good signs for Leicester. And again, a lovely ball. Low cross, and that's what you see all Brighton sprinting to try and get on the end of it. And he just follows through into the Hordens. Just like to see Ben Chilwell try and get a little bit more in the game work, and Sam Kluk is just keeping a close eye on Ben Chilwell at the minute, but you know, it's going to be important for him to try and get into this game and contribute down this left-hand side.
Evans judging it well. Neither Vokes nor Phobie have given the Foxes too many problems so far, and Leicester growing in confidence. Here's Vardy looking for that half yard. He gets it. Still a chance. Jose Perez just couldn't squeeze it in, and Butler makes the save down to his left-hand side. Good chance, Leicester.
Yeah, good play from Vardy. Took responsibility on. Gets the shot off, and as it just drops to Perez, he just can't get enough power behind it. Technique probably just a little bit off. He's tried to side foot it into the bottom corner. Just not enough power or guile on that shot. And Butland saves it quite easily in the end.
Allen. to the diminutive Welsh midfielder. That's a Leicester ball. This rain really is relentless at the moment. We got to the ground a few hours before kick-off and it was coming down then. I guess normally you get pretty balmy afternoons at this time of year in pre-season, so as a player, as long as it's not absolutely drenched, it's probably quite refreshing to play in this kind of atmosphere.
I would say so. You know, as you say, normally it's the weather's quite fierce this time of the year, so this is a bit of light relief for the players out there.
Leicester did go away earlier in pre-season to Evian in France, but didn't play any games out there. And with numerous international tournaments going on this summer, they haven't been on a big commercial tour of for themselves, which will have certainly helped. Of course, many teams going out to the Americas and the Far East at this time of year. But Leicester not involved, which has to be a good thing, really, from a football point of view. Chilwell. Schmeichel with a poor ball out, and well, folks certainly didn't make the most of it. Not the most cultured player to have probably finished it from that range, and he puts it high over the bar.
It's so unlike Kasper Schmeichel. You know, you can see Hamza Choudhury sticking his arm up saying, yeah, I'll have it safe side, which is on his right foot. He just totally mistimes that pass out. Pretty simple pass for Kasper as well, and so unlike him.
Tielemans. Leicester continue to dominate the ball here. Maguire. Allen. It's up there, and Leicester will come again. Vardy wide. Up against Bart. And the ball doesn't get past the former Wolves and Middlesbrough defender.
I'd like to see that though a little bit more often. Pereira stepping in, quick counter-attack. That's what we want to see more of.
Evans. Tielemans, who's seen a lot of the ball so far. The Belgian midfielder. Chilwell. Nearly halfway through this first half, and Chilwell clipped there by Smith.
Yeah, that's better from Ben. You know, he's been pretty quiet so far in this game, but there he's just taking the reins on. Lovely run from him, and he's drawn the free kick.
Maddison will be the man to take it. He's been lively so far. Two-man wall for Stoke. A number of targets in the middle. Maddison bends it in towards Maguire, who goes down, but no penalty. Well, everyone looked over to the referee, Steve Bates, there, and Maguire continues to do so. The player's already restarted. Trying to catch Leicester on the hop there, with Maguire out of the action.
He's just been cute there, Danny Bath. He's grabbed Maguire on the blind side of the referee, so he can't see it, and if you can't see it, then you can't give it. Obviously Harry remonstrating, but you've got to say it's cute defender from Bath.
We'll wait to see the replay, but of course, oh dear, there's a chance, a real opportunity, and Afobe can't do anything with it. Well, two slips there from Kasper Schmeichel in a matter of minutes.
Again, so unlike Kasper. Benik Afobe, his eyes must have lit up, but well done, Hamza Choudhury. We've seen that so many times from Hamza Choudhury. His recovery runs are excellent, and it needed to be this time round, because that was a certain goal for Stoke there.
Yeah, Afobe came in for around 13 million from Wolves, so a lot expected of him. Of course, a solid scorer at championship level, but hasn't quite hit his previous heights so far, and you can hear a few moans and groans from a number of the Stoke fans around us. Jose Perez winning a corner. Let's have a look at that penalty shout from a few minutes ago.
Yeah, another great ball in. And as you see, Boff just grabs the arm of Maguire, blindside the referee. So cute defending from him. That's what we call in the game the dark arts.
Well, ultimately in the Premier League, if that is a penalty, you're not going to get away with it anymore because of VAR. Here's the corner from Maddison. High and long, it's Bartu who heads away. Tielemans, he'll deliver this one now. But the whistler's gone for a pull in the box, which the referee spotted there. But ultimately, you know, Maguire and Evans, such threats aerially that players are going to do that. And Danny Batth will get away with that in the Championship because they don't have VAR. But in the Premier League now, defenders know they cannot do that. Yeah,
that's right. You're absolutely spot on. And those are the types of challenges that, as you say, VAR should pick up.
Afobe, offside.
Just on that offside, but we've just seen Powell run straight through the middle and not being picked up. There we see Benik Afobe. Yes, he's offside, but both centre halves not covering each other there, and it's Harry Maguire's job to cover Johnny Evans, and it's the same on the other side. If Harry Maguire goes in to try and go tight on Afobe, then Johnny Evans has to get round and cover that ball over the top.
From a coaching point of view, is that something that, you know, you would stop and make a note of a lot in training, or is it something that's expected generally as you're a centre half?
No, it's definitely something that a manager will pick up on, because I keep harping on centre halves. You have to play as a unit, as a two, and you have to have each other's backs. It's almost like having wingmen, you know, in the RAF. You never leave your wingman, and that's how you play as a centre half pairing.
Jose Perez. 3 players around him. Chowdhury wins it back. Stoke have a man down. Tielemans. Oh, the goalkeeper nearly spilled that one. Well, Stoke not happy because they had a man down, but same old argument, is it a head injury or not? On this occasion it's not, as Klukas hit the deck, and with Leicester in an advanced position there, I think the referee was right to play on. And Butland nearly made a mess of it.
Yeah, well, the referee's got a good position of it. He's deemed it a fair challenge. But Yuri Tielemans wasn't hanging around to wait and see what the referee was going to give. And that's a really good effort from him. And as you say, Butland almost spilled it, but in the end, a good save.
Loose ball, Jose Perez onto Jamie Vardy. First real chance for the Leicester number 9, and he hits it straight at Jack Butland.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed with that, Jamie. Ball's just been real lovely.
Chowdhury wrestled to the ground.
Just saying, the ball was at a real lovely, at a good pace for Jamie to hit that first time. He was obviously looking to try and bend it into the far corner. Perez does well. Lovely weight on the ball. As you see, he just hits the inside of his heel there, Jamie. He doesn't get the right connection on it, and that's why you see it going into the arms of Butland.
Still remains goalless. Just under 20 minutes to go until the break. Stoke have had a number of half chances, but haven't been able to finish them. Leicester have played some decent stuff in and around the penalty area. And have won a number of corners, but haven't done anything with them yet. Maguire. Klukas, who's recovered from that knock a minute ago. Advantage played by the referee. McLean burrowing away down that left-hand side. Nathan Jones right on the edge of his technical area, screaming at his players. Brendan Rodgers a touch more reserved. Haven't really seen him out of his seat so far.
I think what Brendan does, he tries to analyse every aspect of the game while he's in his dugout, so you won't see him that often coming out and shouting. You may see him on occasion coming out and passing on instructions to the players, but I think he's one of those managers that likes to analyse and see how his team are getting on, see the fluidity of the team.
Maguire. Chowdhury. Leicester playing dangerously a bit again there with Powell on the prowl. Nil-nil here, 1-0 at Rotherham to Leicester. If you are just joining us, the first team squad and a number of 23s players have been split across the two games today to make sure that everyone gets a decent amount of minutes. Ricardo. Carrying it a long way. Maddison, good movement there. Iose Perez with the ball over, just behind Vardy in the middle. Throw in here for Stoke, taken quickly, and they're on the charge with Allen. Up to Benica Fobe. Fobe inside. Got width on this right-hand side with Smith. Cousins. Lucas plays it inside. Allen now taking it on into a Fobe who goes past one, goes over, and it's a penalty. Well, needlessly conceded from a Leicester point of view, I think, especially given the dominance they've really had in this first half. A Fobe driving back in there to try and get the shot away, and he's taken down.
Yeah, it's a good move from Stoke, you have to say there. And Johnny just guilty of selling himself. A Fobe wasn't really in a position, you have to say, or he didn't look like he was going to try and get a shot off. Johnny Evans obviously thought he did. He's dived in, sold himself. Afobe's cut the ball back. As you say, a lovely little slide rule pass. Afobe tries to cut inside, and Johnny unfortunately is just taking him out. So you can't have any real issues with that decision the referee's given.
Well, it looks as though Sam Vokes is going to be the man to take it here. Kasper Schmeichel playing a few mind games with him. Vokes had already spotted the ball up. Schmeichel making him do it all again. Any kind of penalty theatrics are not allowed now. No shaking of the crossbar or anything like that. And we all saw the problems with the new law about keeping a foot on the line during the summer. Let's see how this one plays out. Vokes against Schmeichel. Big chance here for Stoke to make it 1-0. It's Vokes, and Schmeichel makes the save. Great stop away to his left-hand side, and Leicester on the counter with Iose Perez. Still the Spaniard. Back towards Maddison. Doesn't matter in the end. Great chance there for Stoke, and a great save by Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic save. Obviously, as a goalkeeper, the first thing you've got to get right is you've got to go the right way, and he's done that. Not only has he done that, he's got two good strong hands on that ball, and not only pushed it away but pushed it away to safety, and Leicester on the counter-attack almost make Stoke pay.
Well, that'll be a confidence booster for Schmeichel, won't it, after those mistakes earlier in the half?
Absolutely, because, you know, he has made two mistakes, so unlike Kasper to make those mistakes in the first place, but that will put all the rest, and here he goes. You see good strong hands and a good strong push away to a Leicester player. Good pace on the ball from Vokes as well, so you can't really pick any faults with his penalty. Just a good strong save from Schmeichel.
Chilwell has to be careful here. Knocks it off the head of Smith. It's well anticipated there by Maddison. Chilwell cutting that one forward, but the spin holds it in the air. Cousins. McLean. Nancy Perez going after him there. Bart to Shawcross, long-time Stoke player, was with them all the way through that Premier League journey. Now having to start again in the Championship. Up towards Afobe. Who's the one who won the penalty? Vokes, the man who missed it. Going to Rotherham for an update very shortly. Shawcross puts that one into the stand. So 0-0 here. Last we knew at Rotherham, Leicester City's other side were winning by a goal to 0. What's the latest now, Nick Walsh?
Rotherham United 0, Leicester City 1, James, but the Foxes should be further ahead, and Kelechi Iheanacho might have completed a hat-trick by now. His second attempt forcing a good save from Daniel Everson, and on the follow-up just seemed to get his body position wrong, couldn't get his effort under control after good work initially from Harvey Barnes. Damari Gray has also forced a good save from Daniel Everson, but it's the Foxes in front, 30 gone, Rotherham United 0, Leicester City 1.
Nick, thank you. Still waiting for the first goal here. Albrighton in possession for Leicester. Evans. Maddison trying to find the gap there to pick out Tielemans. Afobe. 3 forward here for Stoke. Still Benik Afobe. Couldn't pick out Powell. Man who's really played right the way across the front line in his career today, playing just off the front two today. This is a good strong run by Maguire. Jose Perez. That's a high one. Albrighton with time and space. Where's that one going to drop? Just underneath Butland's bar. It's a Leicester corner.
Yeah, great counter-attack again from Leicester. We've seen that over the years. Not so much today, but on this occasion, Jose Perez, well, Harry Maguire first. And then here's Maguire with the pass to Perez, and Perez does so well here again, looking to pick a pass out. Albrighton, good technique from Albrighton to keep that shot down, and Butland again has to make sure.
Albrighton hanging by the goalkeeper. Maddison over the corner. The header away by Vokes. Oh, and now there's suddenly a real break on here. A massive gap through the middle, and McLean is racing onto it. Chilwell's back, McLean takes it early, and it's a good job from a Leicester point of view that he did so.
You can see the anguish in James McLean's face. He's got the legs on Chilwell, but what Chilwell does brilliantly, he doesn't sell himself, just forces him slightly wide, stays on his feet, and lets McLean hit the shot. If he's going to beat Kasper Schmeichel from there, it's got to be an absolute world beater. Unfortunately for Leicester, it wasn't. It was the complete opposite. But you have to say, good defending from Ben Chilwell, just to see that out from James McLean.
Maguire. Small block on him there. Maguire exchanging words down the touchline with Nathan Jones, the Stoke boss, sorry.
They're the physical side up top, aren't they? You've got Folks, Afobe, Powell. They're not afraid to put themselves about.
Chilwell driving in field. Good run. Brighton is going to have a job on to get there. He probably thought that one was going to go for a goal kick there, and Stoke have a big problem. And I think this may well be a muscle injury for Shawcross, which may well rule him out of this game. Stoke players calling the physios over, and just by the players' reactions you can tell when there's something wrong like that, can't you?
Absolutely. You can see his arms are outstretched here, and it's chasing the ball back, gets the challenge, and oh, that looks unfortunate.
And it's not a muscle injury at all. I think we can all see there that it was a Nasty, nasty bend of the ankle and further.
Well, it's there for everyone to see. It's his left ankle, and that does look nasty, you have to say.
Well, if it is what we think it is, it won't just be his game over. He's going to be out for a considerable amount of time, which will be a big blow to Stoke. Nathan Jones now has some thinking to do. Must be so annoying for a player like that, you know, in a meaningless game and probably a challenge he didn't need to go full stretch for, all of those kind of things, but in his commitment to the cause he's ended up hurting himself.
I think that's what you get with a player like Ryan Shawcross. Is that you're totally right, he could have seen that ball out, but unfortunately when you've got a player like that, you know, a stalwart for Stoke City, he is not going anything less than 100% in for that ball, and unfortunately, as you say, in a pre-season friendly, you know, Nathan Jones will be beside himself.
Well, in terms of defenders on the bench, they do have Liam Lindsay, who they brought in from Barnsley during the summer. Bruno Martins Indy as well, who could probably fill in. You'd imagine it would be Lindsay to come on. And of course, everyone here at Leicester City wishes their best to Ryan Shawcross. It must be so frustrating, having done most of pre-season, the championship season less than a week away now.
I think, you know, you can take injuries as a manager and as a player during the regular season, but especially in pre-season, you want to start the season with your strongest team possible. You know, and the likelihood is, as you said, that Ryan Shawcross could be out for a considerable length of time, the way it looks at it.
Well, while we wait for play to resume here, we can tell you there's been another goal now at the New York Stadium. Nick Walsh has the details.
Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 1, and it's an equaliser which has come about, the ball given away in midfield, and the on-loan Norwich City striker Carlton Morris put through on goal, found the gap between the two centre-backs and able to send a slide rule finish beyond the unrushing Danny Ward to put the Millers back on terms. Frustration for the Foxes, who had been in the box hit and looking comfortable as we move towards half-time. But Carlton Morris with an equaliser on 37 minutes. Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 1.
So 1-1 there, 0-0 here. Haven't had any goals, but it's been a game with good tempo to it so far.
Yeah, you can see, you know, the raise in class with Stoke City Leicester have come up against today. You know, Stoke look a big, physical, fit outfit, you have to say. But on the spin side of that, you know, Leicester have held their own, had some really good opportunities going forward. Just that final ball on occasion letting them down, the finishing on occasion letting them down, the keeper playing his part as well. So Brendan Rodgers, he'll be reasonably pleased going to half-time, but a lot more improvement to come. He'll have a lot to say at half-time to his players, because he wants that slick, free-flowing football. We've seen it in glimpses today, but he'll want to see more of it in the second half, that's for sure.
Brendan Rodgers mulling things over with the backroom staff. Still we wait for play to resume here. Ryan Shawcross is off the pitch, but no need to continue playing when he's so close to it, and the stretcher standing by as well. He'll be off to hospital very shortly. And his left leg in a protective brace there. So sad for him, as I was saying, handed the captain's armband. But he's not going to be playing again anytime soon. Busy schedule starting for Stoke next month. Championship games against QPR, Charlton, Derby and Preston in their first four, with Wigan away in the League Cup in between. And a big applause here for Shawcross as he is lifted high into the air.
As you say, it's never a good sight when you see a player having to be stretchered off. It's bad enough having to come off, but you know, having to be stretchered off, you know, Nathan Jones got a lot of thinking to do now, between now and next week. It's a massive headache for him.
Well, the game's been stopped now for a good 5 minutes or so. We'll wait to see whether the referee will add on the time at the end of the half. It is 30 seconds away from the 45-minute mark now. Words of encouragement and good wishing from Jack Butland and Danny Bart. Two players who will know Shawcross the best as they play alongside him at the back. As you say, ultimately he's an all or nothing defender, isn't it? And that's the consequence of it.
Sometimes, absolutely. You know, and there's a train of thought that says that if you don't go into challenges wholeheartedly, there's a chance you could come out injuring yourself. As I said, Brian Shawcross is just one of those players who goes in for every challenge 100%. Unfortunately, it's not the challenge itself, it's just the case that he's rolled over on his ankle and ended up twisting his ankle pretty badly.
So we're into 2 minutes of additional time at the end of the first half. Probably not what was due to be added on, but it is pre-season after all. And it is Liam Lindsay who's come on to replace Shawcross. Bart now goes over to the right-hand side of the defensive two. Lindsay picked up from Barnsley in the summer on a £2 million deal. Adam Davis, his teammate, the goalkeeper, coming in on a free. Oh, that was a strong challenge. And that's that. Well, the referee doesn't even play the 2 minutes in the end. A strange ending to the half after that injury to Ryan Shawcross. As we say, we wish him all the best. He's gone off down the tunnel early and he's quickly followed by the two teams as well. No goals in the first half. Stoke came the closest and should have gone ahead. Kasper Schmeichel saving Sam Vokes' penalty after Benik Afobe was fouled. Leicester have had a few half chances. Jamie Vardy with one of them straight at Jack Butland, the goalkeeper. The likes of Perez and Maddison have looked lively, but ultimately the half-time score here at Bet365 Stadium is Stoke City 0, Leicester City 0. Closing thoughts on this first half, Jerry Taggart?
Yeah, it's been a decent first half from both sides, you have to say. Stoke obviously you know, a level above the rest of the teams that Leicester have played, and it showed today. But as I said, Leicester created a few good opportunities in that first, especially down that right-hand side with Perez and Ricardo. Unfortunately, Leicester just not been able to convert the half opportunities that they've had. So lots of talking to be done at half-time from Brendan Rodgers, and hopefully in the second half we'll see a little bit more slick football.
So 0-0 at the break. All the analysis from the first half coming very, very shortly with Dan Bates and Matt Elliott. Stay with us.
We are an instinct that ignites action. We are a journey, taking one step more. And we are the heart that beats as one. We are proud to be more. De Montfort University, Leicester.
Welcome back to the Bet365 Stadium here at half-time. It's Stoke City 0, Leicester City 0. Leicester had a little bit of a scare with a penalty for Stoke, but it was saved by Kasper Schmeichel and it remains goalless. Matt, how did you find the first half?
I'll try my best to make out what you're saying there, Dan. I didn't think it was as free-flowing as other games have been earlier in pre-season. A little bit disjointed. You know, that surprised me because Leicester not looking as slick as they have done. And I think that's largely due to the way Stoke have set up as well. They made it difficult for Leicester. They put that diamond in midfield. Leicester looked like they tried to sort of counteract them, deploy a different tactic to their normal structure, and hasn't quite clicked just yet. But they've had their moments, as have Stoke. All things even at half-time, probably about right.
Yeah, well, let's take a look then at some of the best moments from the first half here. So there was an early couple of chances. This one from James Maddison.
Yeah, decent strike from Maddison, but you're not expecting probably to beat someone of the calibre of Jack Butland there at the near post, but it was a decent effort. I thought that was the most likely source of productivity really for Leicester, down that right-hand side. Allen, who's playing out there for Stoke on the left-hand side, gets isolated. McLean's not a natural left-back, Ricardo's getting forward well. This is what we're limited to. Does that qualify as a highlight there, Maddison? You know, disappointing effort by his standards, but yeah, Leicester, you know, there was a couple of opportunities. It was Cinnamons had that ball into the box, but they've Perez we'll see, I think, coming up in a second probably on the highlight reel. I think they nicked it here. This is Jamie Vardy's one, a poor pass. There in a more advanced position, early ball, could he have gone on his own and maybe forced the angle for a shot? Jamie Vardy could have had a touch. You know, it wasn't his normal slick, sharp self. Here's the penalty, and I thought actually, when it happened, I thought Johnny Evans had done enough. He looked to me like he was going to make the challenge, but Afobe's just nicked it through his legs, hasn't he? No complaints from Johnny Evans there. A long delay for the penalty taker votes, which was never good from his point of view. Schmeichel saved pretty comfortably, really, in the end, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a good record, hasn't he, Kasper Schmeichel, you have to say, from the spot, saving wise.
Yeah, he has, and there's a reason behind that, and also it plays with the penalty taker's mind when they know that the keeper's more than capable from spot kicks. There's Albrighton there, picking up good position, but not as many bodies in the box as there has been before, and as I say, it's been a bit lopsided the way Leicester have set up. I was struggling to determine exactly what system they are playing. There's a bit of flexibility within it, and players are popping up in different areas of the field at different times, but it hasn't quite clicked so far.
Well, you think about actually thinking back to the other games that Leicester have had so far in pre-season, they've all taken a similar story, really, haven't they? Where it's maybe been the second half where they've really come out and they've actually scored their goals.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how they come out in the second half and see what Brendan Rodgers thinks in that first 45 minutes, and then if he's not entirely pleased with it, what he'll do to adjust it, or he might just be trying a different method there, because he's going to, he doesn't want to be for want of a better phrase, a one-trick pony, because Leicester play in that structured way, but he wants options, I suppose, and he sees, he's trying to sort of check on the adaptability of his players to change their style, to be all-round footballers. But it hasn't had that slickness that we've become accustomed to already in this pre-season, but that may change.
Well, of course, there's another Leicester City game going on simultaneously to this one up in South Yorkshire. So let's get an update from there at half-time with Nick Welsh.
Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 1 at a rain-soaked New York Stadium. Half-time, it was Kelechi Iheanacho who put the Foxes ahead on 11 minutes, but he will rue 2 further missed opportunities. Damari Gray also testing Daniel Everson in goal for the Millers this afternoon. Then the equaliser, the ball turned over in midfield on 37 minutes, and it was the on-loan Norwich City striker Carlton Morris who slid the ball under the onrushing Danny Ward for the equaliser. Half-time at New York Stadium. It is Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 1.
Yeah, thanks to Nick Welsh there up at the New York Stadium in Rotherham. So 1-1 up there, 0-0 here, Matt. We saw the goal, didn't we? The Kelechi Iheanacho strike.
Yeah, Kelechi Iheanacho. Very smooth finish, wasn't it? Good play initially by Harvey Barnes, who was there pressurising the fullback, nicked it off him, cut inside. Iheanacho, full of confidence after scoring midweek. Could have got himself a couple more, couldn't he, against Cambridge, but pre-season or not, that will do him a power of good. Getting that lovely ball from Barnes in the week that he finished off with his head, but it was a lovely little slick piece of footwork, and he was in on goal. Good finish too, so looks good for him. All of a sudden he's got a little bit of a spring in his step.
Well, back to the game here in Staffordshire then, and we saw a lot of movement in the midfield with the Leicester City midfield. James Maddison was on this right-hand side, then Tielemans came out to this right-hand side. Didn't maybe see Perez out on the right as much as what we were expecting.
Yeah, exactly. Ordinarily, we've been accustomed to a certain way of playing. Defensive midfielder, in this case today, Chowdhury, and then you'd think off at angles from in 45-degree angles is Maddison and Tielemans, and then the front three. It hasn't been like that today. Strangely, Tielemans found himself wide right. They're almost playing a sort of box shape in the centre of the midfield themselves. But Perez was drifting around. Really didn't. Not too much movement in truth. I know he's missed a couple of games or so maybe just getting himself up to pace properly. But he was just. Sometimes he was alongside Vardy, just in behind or just wide. I don't know, it just seemed a little bit scrambled at the time. Now, whether that was an intentional thing, Brendan Rodgers said, lads, go and pick up a position where you want, but just be mindful defensively. Or did the players not quite adhere to what their instructions were? I don't know. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a change in the second half. I'm interested to see what alterations there are.
Or perhaps maybe they thought because it's pre-season and the last couple of chances to maybe experiment a little bit, they've said, let's try something a little bit different that they maybe want to go to as a plan B in games.
No, exactly, it probably is that case. I think Brendan Rodgers is not one-dimensional, has his own way of wanting to play, but he realises certain times call for different measures, and he may well be trying to add another string to the team's bow.
We'll talk about Kasper Schmeichel's penalty save again, because you said that Sam Vokes was made to wait. You hear that a lot in football, don't you? But if a player has to wait a while to take a penalty, why does it make it so much harder? Is it just overthinking what they're going to do?
You start thinking, don't you? You think, well, if you haven't got time to mess about with it and your mind playing tricks, you think, right, where am I best at? So bang, bottom right-hand corner, that's where I'm good at, that's where it's going. Then you start thinking, but the odds are, has he seen me take penalties before? Do I just smash it down the middle and hope for the best of the kid? You start playing games with yourself, and then, I don't know, it looked to me that Vokes wasn't convinced himself. He's quite a strong-minded character, you would think, in his general play, but it looked like his mind frazzled a little bit, and he went for the easy option and almost hoped that Schmeichel went the wrong way rather than him dictating to Kasper.
And a nice moment for Kasper with the Leicester City fans behind him.
Yeah, he's had a couple of scary moments in truth, Kasper, with the ball at his feet. I mean, it confounds, a bit of a contradiction in a way, like Kasper, because sometimes with the ball at his feet, he's as good as they come at striking the ball over a distance, picking people out. On the shorter passing, when he tries to be a bit more intricate, that's when he's not quite so reliable. And he made one mistake earlier, got away with it, and compounded that by trying to, and even risky a pass on the edge of his box, and was extremely fortunate to get away with that. But ultimately, he's redeemed himself. Not that the penalty was his fault, but you know, he's come out with his head held high, as he can. Penalty saved by a goalkeeper. It's something to be proud of.
Just quickly again, I think we're due to see the players any moment now, but Leicester, as we've said in pre-season, have been a lot better in the second half traditionally. There was the one goal, it was the opening goal at Scunthorpe's first half, but since then at Cheltenham and Cambridge, there's 5 goals all scored in the second half of both of those games.
Well, that's a good sign as well, and you know, sometimes you can't go and blow teams away all the time. Stoke are no mugs, are they? I mean, we've seen they've got a lot of experience in that team for a championship outfit. Albeit a team that's not having a particularly good time. But no, I think you're not going to go and trounce teams every time. You have to play to sort of manage the game a bit. Go, okay, we'll stick with. If they want to treat it like a proper league game, okay, we'll stick with what we got. We'll be solid. And we'll perhaps crank the pressure up a little bit in the last 20, and then really try and impress the extra class that you believe that Leicester have. There's different ways of winning games.
And you'll see more minutes for players, whereas in the previous pre-season games we've seen a lot of changes. Obviously the luxury isn't there for that today because of half the squad up at Rotherham anyway. Very quickly though, because I can see the Leicester players coming out anyway now, so you expect to see them having a few more minutes in the second half.
Yeah, I think that's the intention as best they can without risking injury. Shame to see Shaw cross by the way or stretch it off. I wish all the best of the season, isn't it? Possibly end it. I think Perez has got a bit of catch up to do, and I'll be surprised if he plays a full 90. He might just last for 60 or so. The others will be looking to play for duration.
Excellent. Well, the Leicester City players are back out now for the second half at the Bet365 Stadium. So we'll hand you over to your commentary team for the second half of Jerry Taggart and James Fielden.
Dan, thank you. As you say, the Leicester players are back with us. And as things stand, it doesn't look as though there are going to be any changes. Jerry Taggart alongside me for commentary in this second half, former Foxes defender. What do you think the message will have been from Brendan Rodgers at half-time?
Just try and slicken up the play, especially in the final third. As I say, just had good joy on down the right-hand side with Ricardo Pereira. Ben Chilwell, slow start to the game, but grew into the game as half an on. But it's that interplay in the middle of the park where the exciting stuff really happens between Perez, Tielemans, Maddison and Vardy. That's where Leicester really want to see it click. And I think also they'll probably have to try and move it slightly quicker when they're on the counter-attack. As I said, Leicester well in this game. Stoke, a big, physical, strong team, well organised, and play a similar type of style of football to Leicester because they want to press the ball as well and try and win it as quickly as possible. So as Matt said, sometimes you just got to manage the game. Pick your opportunities. Don't manufacture or try and manufacture too much. Pick your opportunities and make sure you make them count. And that all boils down to the final ball, which has been slightly off at the minute.
There was a delay to the end of the first half because of the injury to Ryan Shawcross. He's gone off on a stretcher. Liam Lindsay replaced him just before half-time. But it's as you were for Leicester. So Schmeichel in goal, Ricardo, Evans, Maguire and Chilwell across the back. Tielemans, Chowdhury, Albrighton in midfield with Maddison and Perez supporting Vardy. And a false start at the top of the second half. McLean for Stoke. Chowdhury onto it in a flash. Osi Perez. Playing with McLean. Chowdhury. Tielemans back to Maguire. Stepping into that well there was Smith. Phobie to his right, Vokes through the middle to the left. Phobie forced wide and Maguire saw enough of the ball to go for it. Stoke throw. I think as we were saying in the first half as well, the Leicester bench today, mainly youth because of the fact that the other members of the regular first team squad are over at Rotherham. So Victor Johansson, the sub-goalkeeper, Benkovic, Diabate, Callum Elder, George Thomas and Kanya Leshabella, the substitutes today, only naming 6 subs. which is as much as is needed, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you may see 1, 2, maybe 3 come on later on in the game, but you won't see wholesale. You won't see all 6 subs coming on today. That's for sure. I think you'll only see that if there's injuries, and hopefully that won't happen.
Tielemans racing onto that one. The challenge by McLean. Tielemans with 3 goals and 4 assists last season. Now a permanent member of this Leicester side. Ricardo into Maddison. Leicester attacking the end where their travelling fans are this afternoon. Around 1,000 of them. And it comes towards Vardy. Brighton trying to make something of it there. Into Vokes. Smith. Stoke finished 16th in the Championship last year. 15 points clear of the relegation zone, but 19 off the playoffs at the top end of the division. Went through 2 managers in Paul Lambert and Gary Rowett. Lambert only had 15 matches, Rowett 29. The Phobie onto this one now! Just kind of hit it into the ground there, which gave Schmeichel a chance. Not the cleanest of contacts from the DR Congo international.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a lovely little move from Stoke. Again, that little slide rule pass down the side for the Phobie. But as he goes to strike it, he just doesn't get the right connection. The technique's all wrong, and in the end, an easy save for Schmeichel.
Maddison. That's a runner in Albrighton. It's Vardy who takes the ball, though. Albrighton. Chilwell. Leicester with a number of players out there. Chowdhury in the middle. And eventually it's given away, but Chowdhury there on hand to win it back again.
Yeah, great defensive work from Hamza. Just reads those situations so well. And more than willing to make those runs back and regain possession of the ball.
Leicester throw. Schmeichel the hero in the first half, having saved that penalty from Sam Vokes in the 33rd minute. Jose Perez waiting for the ball, he gets it now, and that will go for another Leicester corner. They've had several in this game so far, and they'll be hoping to take advantage with this one in front of the OBI stand.
Again, lovely little bit of interplay between them two. And that's what we've all been talking about, that's what we all want to see. Jose Perez inside the box, creating havoc.
Maddison with this corner. Swings it away from goal. It's going to drop in there, is it? Evans. And the referee spotted something in there. Free kick given in Stoke's favour. But one thing that we touched on in the first half was the match ball they were using, and as Jerry was saying, they have switched it at half-time as they have done previously. So they're playing with the Premier League ball in this second half. The one that Leicester will have used all throughout pre-season. McLean. Playing at left back, though they have brought in Stephen Ward from Burnley on a free transfer, the Republic of Ireland international. Teammate of James McLean for both club and country. Schmeichel put the ball out here to Ricardo. A little bit wayward from the Portuguese.
Just see how hard the Stoke players are working. Bennett Phobie, as that ball goes out, just putting pressure on Ricardo Pereira.
Hooked over the top there. Drops to Vokes. Chowdhury judges it well. Slight change in shape for Leicester in the second half. Looks like Perez may be tucking in to get a bit closer to Vardy.
Yeah, could well be, but he likes to float in off that right-hand side to join in. It's almost like a free roll at times for Ayoze Perez.
Ricardo Pereira. Maddison. Chilwell is free on the left. Brighton may use him. He does now. Here's Chilwell. Too long.
And that's probably where you're expecting Perez to be, or he's probably coming in that back post. But as you say, he's moved in a little bit more centrally now.
McLean. A Stoke ball, just about. Leicester with just one more pre-season friendly to come after this against Atalanta next Friday night. Then you'll be able to see with us here. McLean's throw. Allen. Space on the right-hand side for Smith. Lucas. Just about into Powell, but couldn't take the ball with him. Maguire will bring it forward. Maddison in a kind of area that he loves to play in. That's a great ball for Vardy. Jamie Vardy! Well, Butland got drawn out of his goal. Vardy just about went around him, but the angle too tight in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely ball here. Maddison taking it on. Watch this. Outside of the right foot. Fantastic pass from him. As you say, Jamie has to take it round the keeper. Keeper does well. Narrows the angle right down on Jamie Vardy. And it's on probably his weaker side on his left foot. And in the end, it's well off, isn't it? But a great move. Lovely way to pass with the outside of his foot, James Maddison. And I think you're right, James. I think Leicester have matched Stoke City up and gone into a diamond formation.
Yeah, so Maddison now at the top of it, with Tielemans and Albrighton, the central two of it, as you like, with Chowdhury sitting at the bottom.
We heard Matt talking at half-time about maybe Brendan switching things up. I don't necessarily think they had to, but obviously Brendan did. So he's matched them up, and we'll have to wait and see how it pans out.
Stoke corner. It's taken short into Allen. Powell swings that one in, and it came off a Leicester boot last. I think it was Albrighton who stuck out his right leg there, and that was very close to going in at the far post.
Yeah, lucky to get away with that short corner. It's this indecision here. You know, for me, Johnny Evans has to call that. He has a big call. So Albrighton leaves that. Johnny Evans gets his head on it and the ball gets cleared.
Corner from the right this time. A lot of heads in there. Where's he going to drop? Well, it dropped at the feet of Sam Vokes. Hasn't been his day in front of goal so far. Leicester break out with Vardy, but his ball in between two.
That's a big opportunity. As that ball comes in, Johnny Evans just gets himself caught underneath the ball. There's two Stoke players going for the same ball, and I think that's the issue that's been caused. That's probably the biggest reason why they haven't converted that chance.
Oh, that's a loose pass. Vardy's onto it. We know what he can do in this kind of area. Ayoze Perez couldn't quite pick out Albrighton. The game opening up in the last minute or so. Lucas. Powell being challenged there by Chowdhury. And Bart going home.
So both teams just cranking it up a level in this game opening up.
Albrighton. Chilwell's made the run down the left again. But it's Ricardo Pereira down the right. Albrighton. Ricardo again. Albrighton. Great ball into a great area. Bar partially away. Chilwell. Into the Leicester City fans.
Again, good player. Again,
too many chances, does he?
No, I'm saying down this right-hand side again, Albrighton and Ricardo combining. Lovely cross from Albrighton. And it's just set up lovely, really, for Chilwell, and you expect him to do better, but he just leans back slightly on contact with the ball, and that's why you see it go over the bar.
McLean. To try and pick out Vokes, but he never has been the quickest of attackers. Madison. Ricardo assessing his options. Maguire. Lovely ball into Chilwell. Now a ball here to Ricardo. Almost inch perfect.
That's unlucky from Harry. It's the right ball at the right time. Unfortunately, it's just skidded off the surface. But again, when you've got a player in your team like Harry Maguire, you probably need to try and utilise him a bit more on the ball, because he is a player that can get Leicester City on the attack.
Smith. Delivered in and nodded on. Over the top by Powell. Some of the Stoke fans around us here thought that one had dropped in, but it's only the top of the net in the end.
It's a difficult chance for Powell, to try and get the enough pace on the header. It's a good ball in from Smith. As I say, he only has to get a flick on it. It's a difficult chance all the same.
Vardy. Tielemans. Is that going to reach? Not quite. Phobie will pick it up here for the Potters. Allen. To Joe Allen again. Doesn't quite find a Phobie. Just over half an hour to go. Madison nicks it past one, but Vardy can't get to it. The referee Steve Bates pulling play back here, and rightly so.
Yeah, it's good refereeing. Tried to play the advantage to the referee. This game definitely hotting up. The tempo's been raised. There's a bit more urgency about the players in the passing.
Leicester moving the ball around. Advantage played as it reaches Ricardo on this right side. That's nicely worked. Ricardo Pereira. His ball is all the way to the far post. Albrighton! What a finish! And at the end, where Vokes missed a penalty in the first half, Albrighton crashes that one into the net to give Leicester the lead with an hour gone.
Well, that's a fantastic goal yet again. All the good work coming down this right-hand side. Pereira with a lovely little dink to the back post. Technique from Albrighton, absolutely spot on. Doesn't panic under the pressure. Probably should have thought he could have took it first time, but he relaxes on it. As you see it from this angle, straight through the ball, technique, bang, there you go, 1-0.
Sometimes you don't need to hit them totally cleanly, do you?
It's all about making sure your technique's right and keeping the ball down, and that's exactly what Albrighton does, as you say. If you don't shoot, you don't score. He got his technique absolutely spot on, and thankfully he's seen the ball hit the back line out.
Well, almost an identical time at which Maguire gave Leicester the lead at Cambridge on Tuesday. It's a goal from Mark Albrighton this time. Man who only got 2 Premier League goals last season. And hoping for a big haul this campaign. He might get more in this match. Chilwell in towards Albrighton. Chowdhury there to pick up the pieces. It's a throw in here to Leicester, who've just taken the lead in this game against Stoke. As we were saying earlier, another Leicester side taking on Rotherham United this afternoon. 1-1 last we heard. Let's get the latest from Nick Walsh.
So Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 1. We've been playing for an hour at New York Stadium. Injury concern to Papi Mendy. He's been replaced by Daniel Amati. Rashid Ghazal also on for Adrian Silva. Best chance for the Foxes on 50 minutes. Harvey Barnes cutting in from the left, right-footed strike, forcing the save from Daniel Everson. And Kyle Vassell has also had a goal ruled out for offside. It's Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 1.
Nick, thank you. Leicester coming forward here, looking for another. Lindsay with the crucial sliding challenge there. Brendan Rodgers, sorry, just walking away from his technical aim, a bit of a shake of the head. Ball out, just about okay into Allen. I guess ultimately as a coach you have the whole summer to devise new plans and ideas, and if players don't do anything with them straight away it might be a bit annoying for you, but such is football. Here's Ricardo. Ooh, going over, no penalty. Well, we were right behind that one and the referee had a look at it. Might say under maybe a bigger, more imposing atmosphere, a decision may have been given there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no contact with the ball as far as I can see. As Ricardo comes into the box. To be fair to McLean, he stands his ground. It's a half-hearted challenge. There's no real contact with the ball or with a man. You see them given, you see them not given.
Yeah, I think ultimately maybe as a Leicester player or fan, if that went against you, you'd probably be a bit annoyed. Yeah. So
he hasn't really committed to the challenge, McLean. That's probably why he's got away with it.
Lucy Perez picking it up on the left here. The clouds getting darker overhead. Johnny Evans back here to Ricardo. Schmeichel with all the time in the world here, looking for that ball out. There's a bit of pressure there on Chilwell. He's now looking for that ball and finds Maguire. Nearly halfway through this second half now. Leicester leading by a goal to nil thanks to Albrighton's fantastic finish just a few minutes ago.
You know, we said the tempo had definitely risen in the second half. Both teams left in the game. Leicester changing the shape slightly to combat Stoke, and it's worked its right, you have to say. So good management again from Brendan Rodgers. And Leicester at the minute in control of this game.
Chowdhury wins it back. Maddison, who's been quieter in this second half but still influential. Ricardo into Albrighton. Maddison taken down, play goes on. Chilwell can't keep it in play. Maddison, I think he's okay here. Just got clipped on the way through.
Yeah, he's unlucky there. You know, the referee again tried to play the advantage. Unfortunately, Ben just couldn't keep it in.
Well, we were talking about fitness and strategy and bits and pieces like that from Brendan Rodgers' point of view. He's saying ahead of this one that the first 3 weeks were all about building their fitness and the next 3 weeks all about strategy. And the details and intensity. And a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. And that makes sense, doesn't it, really, with games against lesser opposition. You could go all out against them and beat them 6-7-0 each time, but you won't get anything from that.
No, absolutely. I think when you come up against the higher level teams, that's when your game plan really has to take shape. As you said, the first couple of games is all about getting minutes on the pitch and fitness in your legs. Then you play against a better opposition. Now, how do you beat the better opposition? And that's where the strategizing comes into it. And that's exactly what we're seeing at half-time from Brendan Rodgers. You using a different strategy.
Powell over this free kick for Stoke City. Imagine he'll go for goal here. He does. Doesn't cause any problems for Kasper Schmeichel. It's been a frustrating watch for Stoke fans so far. A number of chances, including a penalty.
Yeah, they've huffed and puffed, haven't they, Stoke? And they look good in glimpses of game, but no real cutting edge, you have to say, at the minute.
Chowdhury. Allen and Afobe getting in each other's way there. That ball into Albrighton is left for Vardy. Evans. Maguire. Chowdhury. Carlo Pereira into Tielemans. Ricardo looking for that early ball. Perez had gone and then checked. Maddison again into Albrighton with some pace. The goal scorer finds Chilwell. Maddison. Albrighton gets that ball in just about. McLean there to head clear. Well, neither side has made any changes in this second half so far. Stoke made the one in the first. Well, the referee nearly went down with an injury there. Caught one of the Stoke players in the process. Now Bart going over. And the ball hitting him, but I think he was fouled first. A bizarre 10-15 seconds there.
Well, that was a bizarre passage of play, wasn't it? First, the referee getting involved. And there's bodies flared all over the ground.
Everyone okay in the end. Everyone just behind the run there of Powell. Lucas picks it up. Lifted in. Oh, he's shot it! And Kasper Schmeichel beats it. Well, I think Stoke will be hard pushed to claim that one was deliberate. Either way, it's gone in for 1-1. And the Potters are level. It's been put in by Nick Powell.
Well, as you see this from Powell, he's looking across at the back post. He's definitely looking at the cross. He's not looking to try and chip the keeper from there. So this is more luck than judgment, you have to say. But all the same, Kasper will be very, very disappointed to be done from that sort of angle. But you have to say, Stoke have played their part in this game. There've been very few clear-cut opportunities for them. So a little bit fortunate their goal comes away of a missed cross, comes shot from Nick Powell.
So 1-1 the score. Leicester will have to take the lead for a second time. Ricardo put under pressure by Vokes. Osi Perez. Maddison. Chowdhury wide to Ricardo. We've got a good game on our hands now. Both sides going for it. Maddison. Great feet again. Tielemans. Ricardo, I'm not sure I saw what he was trying to do there. Here's the goal scorer. I think Judge furious with Powell there that he didn't release the ball earlier. He gets it off to Afobe now. And it comes, and Chowdhury heads clear. Hardy nods on, but can't do anything with it. McLean returns it here to Butland. Well, there's a couple of goals going in. We had the equaliser here for Stoke, and there's been another goal at New York Stadium. 1-1 last we heard. Nick Walsh has the latest.
Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 2, so the Foxes restore their lead on 71 minutes, and Kelechi Iheanacho helping himself to his second of the afternoon. Had to ride a number of challenges before steadying himself and steering a right-footed strike beyond substitute goalkeeper Lewis Price. The game being stretched because of all the substitutions being made, but the Foxes back in front. Rotherham United 1, Leicester City 2.
So 2-1 to Leicester there, 1-1 here. And we're inside the final 17.5 minutes of the 90. Lucas. Collision there in midfield, and a bit of afters as well, right in front of the referee. McLean. This game has a bit of spice to it now. Evans away.
Yeah, definitely. You can hear the crowd as well being lifted by that goal, lifted by Stoke's endeavours. It's up to Leicester now to try and wrestle the momentum back.
Well, a number of players on and offside there, both deemed offside. I guess normally when you play Stoke here, that's one of the factors you're up against, isn't it? The crowd and the raucous way that these Stoke fans are, especially the booth end away to our left-hand side. And I guess really Leicester would have probably wanted that today because it gives them something extra to deal with, but ultimately it is only a pre-season friendly, and most people here in Stoke away on their holidays or with other things to do in July.
I.e. stay in and not come out in the rain, probably.
Ricardo. Tielemans. Player's been stopped here after a collision. Change coming up for Leicester. We're going to see Kanya Lechabella come on. He's being readied down on the touchline now. Getting a few final instructions from Mike Stowell, who's down there. And ultimately, as an academy player or someone who plays 23s football, these are the kind of chances that you have to thrive upon, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Great opportunity for the young lad.
Afobe lays that one off. Chance here maybe for Stoke. Powell helps it through to the goalkeeper.
I say for him, this is a proper game of football. You know, he's got a decent crowd. You know, it's a game that's on a knife edge, you have to say. The game could go all the way at the minute. Pretty even, Stephen. And so, great opportunity for him to come on and show everybody what he's got.
Lucas. Tielemans going in for that one. And the free kick given in the end. The referee letting this substitution take place now, and we're going to see the withdrawal of the Leicester City goal scorer. Mark Albrighton, what have you made of his afternoon?
As usual, Mark Albrighton, one of the first names on the team sheet for me. Never lets you down. And then to cap it all off, a fantastic strike for him to put Leicester City in the lead. So a good afternoon's work from him.
So his afternoon is over. You'd imagine we'll be seeing him again against Atalanta at King Power Stadium next Friday night, a 7:30 kickoff under the lights. Lechabella on here now for the final 15 minutes or so. Chance here for Leicester as it's bent in by Tielemans. The whistler's gone here for a Leicester City free kick. And a chance here to shoot from range, and there'll be a few interested parties looking to have a go from here. Maddison had one in the first half, didn't he, which drifted over the bar. Tielemans close by. Chilwell has the left-footed option. You'd expect Maddison to take this.
Yeah, I think Maddison will step up. He's got the Premier League ball now, something he's probably a bit more accustomed to. So let's see if he can make a difference.
(1-1) at the moment. Can Leicester go ahead for a second time? Maddison takes it and very nearly scores. What a save that is from Jack Butland, proving just why he's rated at international level.
That's a good start from Butland. Maddison, fantastic straight on target. You see, just curls it round the wall. Butland the full stretch, almost like Banana Man back in the day. Full stretch. Good save, good shot, good save.
Credit to everyone involved. Phoebe with the header clear. Tielemans. Maddison inside. Lashabella. His first involvement, and again. Maddison once more. Leicester have worked it well here, zigzagged the ball out to the left. But too long in the end from Chilwell.
It's disappointing from Ben. It was well worked. Well worked one-touch move. He's got enough time and space, Ben, to put a decent ball into the box. He does the right thing. He doesn't even look. He just gets a good first touch and just thinks, I'm just going to stick it in the middle there, let the rest of the boys try and get on the end of it. So disappointed to see that one go out.
Chowdhury out to Vardy. Has been another goal at the New York Stadium. We'll get details of that shortly. Just over 10 minutes to go. Hacked into the air. Always blustery here at Bet365 Stadium, and today no different. Maguire. Just beyond Lashabella. So Stoke 1, Leicester City 1 here. There has been another goal, as we were saying, at Rotherham. Have Leicester extended their lead, or are Rotherham back level? Let's find out with Nick Walsh.
Rotherham United 2, Leicester City 2. So the Millers back on terms for the second time in this game. This time a Ben Wiles free kick found the head of Michael Iekwe, and the big defender followed up his own header back off the post to scramble the ball beyond Danny Ward to make it 2-2. Rotherham United 2, Leicester City 2.
So goals are plenty there at a bleak-looking New York Stadium. Leicester in control here, you'd say. Forcing Butland into a great save a couple of moments ago. Nick Power with a bit of a fluke to cancel out Brighton's terrific opener. Can Leicester go and get the winner in the time that remains? Nice play. Vardy back to Maddison. It's left for Chowdhury, who was running onto that from a good position there, but Stoke have bodies in the way.
Yeah, that's a bit more like it. Again, good one-touch football, incisive passing. Opportunity drops to Chowdhury, and Cousins it is, I think, who gets that last gasp challenge in. Fantastic defending from him. But yet again, Leicester just cranking it up a level.
Osi Perez. Maddison. Stoke hard into the challenge here, but they found the out ball in Ricardo. It's a nice ball. I thought for a second there it had been tucked in at the near post, but just over the top in the end by the new signing Jose Perez.
Yeah, yet again a really well worked move. The interplay again between Maddison, Tielemans and Perez. And look at this from Ricardo. Fantastic little, just a cushioned pass into the path of Perez. And he just gets underneath it a little bit too much. It's a tight angle. But as you can see the reaction on his face, I'm slightly disappointed by that.
Leicester do have runners from deep, don't they? And, you know, in maybe years gone by, you just see the fullback swing that across the face of goal and hope for the best. But Brendan Rodgers clearly wants players picked out that haven't been necessarily tracked.
Absolutely, we've seen that all afternoon. They're not just throwing crosses into the box, they're actually trying to pick players out. And no one you have to say has been more creative than Ricardo Pereira.
Maddison. Challenged by McLean, who's been fully committed this afternoon. Atalanta will be a good test on Friday as well. Of course, they're in European football next year as one of Serie A's representatives, the team from Bergamo. Chilwell, that's a nice cut back. Tielemans! Great finish. And again, it's a goal which comes from a wide area, this time on the left. And Chilwell's ball went all the way over to the right. And Tielemans there, sweeping it into the net to give Leicester the lead for a second time.
Yeah, yet again, good move from Leicester. This time Perez setting Chilwell free. And we've just spoken about it, picking players out. You can see Chilwell with his head up, slides it. He's obviously looking for Perez making a run into the box, but it misses everybody. And there's Yuri Tielemans at the back post. Thank you very much. Again, concentrates on his technique, get a decent connection on the ball, hit the target and hope for the best. And as you say, it just slides under the body of Buckland and in the back of the net. Good finish.
On his weaker side as well, of course, he could have thrashed at that and just put his foot through it, but went for the more guided finish instead.
No, absolutely, and that's an important thing. You know, any young player watching, hit the target. Make sure you hit the target, work the goalkeeper, especially when it's on your weaker foot and you haven't got as many options as you would do on your stronger side. So Tielemans on his weaker side just thinks to himself, strike the ball, clean strike, hit the target, work the keeper, and he got lucky.
It's a Stoke throw. Looks like it's going to be 4 wins out of 4 for Leicester then. In pre-season. Some Stoke fans drifting towards the exits after that one. Trying to avoid an extended soaking after the game. Chilwell hoists that one to halfway. We always talk about managers saying that they're not after results in pre-season, it's about fitness and that kind of thing, but given Rodgers' quotes saying about how they've moved now from fitness to strategy, is the result important?
I think so. I think it's more important than probably people would say. Momentum's everything in football, and so, you know, going into a season with good momentum behind you and good results behind you, and players feeling confident is never a bad thing. And you can see today this has been a full-blooded affair, especially in the second half. So both teams trying to go and win this game. So even though it's pre-season, and ultimately, yes, the result doesn't matter. You know, we've all played in pre-season where, you know, you never win a game of football, and you go into the season thinking, oh dear, and then you go on a run of games, winning a run of games. So it swings and roundabout sometimes in pre-season, but definitely on a personal, from a personal point of view, going into the season with a good run of momentum behind you is vitally important.
Heading towards the 90-minute mark now. It's been a very worthwhile exercise so far for Leicester this afternoon. A 2-2 scoreline at the moment at Rotherham, where the rest of the team are playing. And it's probably gone as we expected in terms of team lineup as well. Just the one change made so far by Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, and probably one we weren't expecting to see with young Yashabella, but you know, Brendan's obviously got a lot of confidence in the young lad.
Evans picks out Ricardo. Jose Perez. We're getting Jerry Taggart's man of the match very shortly. Lechabella. McLean chasing, but Ricardo gets there first. Madison, lovely drop of the shoulder there to escape the attentions of Allen. Chowdhury. He's had another solid game in a Leicester shirt. Good firm pass there. Youri Tielemans, who has the goal at the moment, which has Leicester ahead. As Leicester has played the ball around, I can ask Jerry now, who has been his standout player this afternoon?
Well, I suppose one of the obvious choices would be Mark Albright with that finish, but I have to say, yet again, Ricardo Pereira down that right-hand side has probably been Leicester's most creative player in the game. You know, time and time again, he's got down there, picking players out, and ultimately set the goal up for Mark Albright, so I'm going to give it to Ricardo Pereira.
James Justin, of course, brought in from Luton Town in the summer. He's going to have some job on his hands to try and dislodge him.
Not half, you know, I've just been mightily impressed with Ricardo since he's come into the club. And he's just gone from strength to strength. And again, you know, at this pre-season, he's just started where he left off, really, at the back end of last season. So a real asset to this team.
And that's time. No injury time at the end of his second half. 3 goals, and thankfully 2 of them for Leicester City, who wrap up the win here to make it 4 wins out of 4 in pre-season. Well, Stoke could have taken the lead in the first half, but Sam Vokes missed their best opportunity through a penalty 12 minutes from the break. Leicester took the lead in spectacular fashion with an hour gone through Mark Albrighton's shot, which crashed in at the far post as the ball sat up for him on the left-hand side. Nick Powell with the equaliser 20 minutes from time as his cross-come shot dipped over Kasper Schmeichel into the far corner, but ultimately the winner came from Youri Tielemans. 6 minutes from time, he was picked out at the far post to sweep the ball past Jack Butland to get Leicester the win. The full-time score here at the Bet365 Stadium: Stoke City 1, Leicester City 2. We'll be back in just a few moments' time for all the post-match reaction.
We are an instinct that ignites action. We are a journey taking one step more. And we are the heart that beats as one. We are proud to be more. De Montfort University, Leicester.
Welcome back to Bet365 Stadium here in Stoke-on-Trent, where Leicester City have just beaten the Potters by 2-1. The last few fans making their way out of the ground now here in the Potteries, into the damp and miserable conditions outside here on the industrial estate where this stand is based. We are waiting for reaction from downstairs, but in the meantime I'm joined by Jerry Taggart, and Matt Elliott has also joined us here on the gantry to look at the game in the second half and the highlights overall. Matt, first of all, what are your thoughts on the second half that you've just seen?
Pretty similar for the majority to the first half. I thought the performance as a whole was not as slick as performances of late, albeit I know it's very early days, so it's pre-season, but it was just a little bit disjointed. They were out of sorts a little bit. Maybe that was, I said at half-time, partly down to how Stoke set up and how they go about their business, and also a little tweak and an adjustment in terms of the setup and system from Leicester's side of point of view. And I thought they just took a little while to come to terms with what they were trying to put into practice, but ultimately the extra class that they had served them well, and I think just about deserved it on the face of it, albeit a friendly. They deserved the 1-goal victory, I think.
Jerry picked out Ricardo Pereira as his star man, coming from right back, did a lot down the right-hand side. Would you have picked the same or someone different? Yeah,
I think in both halves, actually, but he was the main outlet in the first half, for sure, and a bit of a mismatch on that far side of the pitch up against Joe Allen. Pereira was having an absolute field day with no sort of end result, really, but he was getting crosses in the box, but nothing was happening as a consequence. But second half, that proved to be different. He was there for Albrighton's goal, wasn't it? He assisted in that, broke forward more and more regularly. He's got such a good engine, and Leicester took control in the last 15-20 minutes or so. I thought they seem to have that extra athleticism about them. But Pereira was a massive factor, he's up and down that touchline. And as was Maddison, I think, got on the ball quite a lot without producing that killer pass as well. And as is always the case, Tielemans was massively influential as well. But Leicester have had slicker, more cohesive days, I would say.
All right, well, let's take a look at the highlights of the game. This is the first half, and here is Ricardo. That chance early on for Maddison, which brought a save from Butland, who made a number of good stops for Stoke in the end. Yeah,
well, he's a big name keeper for Stoke, and he's going to be vital for their season. And we've seen on a few occasions today, one we've just seen, and one from the free kick from Maddison, that he was vital for Stoke at crucial points in the game.
Maddison's free kick just too high on that one, Matt.
Does that quantify as a highlight?
In a pre-season friendly?
Well, that's it. We're clutching at straws a little bit, aren't we? Certainly compared to games over the previous couple of weeks or so. But it wasn't as fluent as normal, but there's still moments of quality.
There was glimpses of that build-up play, like slick one-touch football. But as Matt has already alluded to, we haven't seen enough of it today. Let's say, well, it has to do with the conditions and the way Stoke, as Matt said, set up. Jimmy will be disappointed by that one. You know, it's just hit the inside of his heel almost.
Yeah, you can put that down to, in brackets, rustiness, can't you? I don't know, for the pre-season. But I thought Perez could have possibly been more direct himself. You know, got it out of his feet. He's in the middle of the goal. The angle was actually better for him if he shifted onto his left foot. Vardy might have had a touch. I think he was caught in two minds. And
the penalty save here from Schmeichel.
Yeah, penalty save. I mean, it was one of those. It was such a delay after the decision because Fobi got injured. Justified in the penalty. I think that Folks was getting longer and longer and longer to think about it, and in the end fluffed his lines a little bit. Schmeichel saved with ease.
All right, for now, thank you, Matt. They're the first half highlights, but we can speak with Dan now, who's down in the tunnel. He's live with Brendan Rodgers.
Hi guys, thank you very much, James. Brendan, he's just looking through the goals currently from the Rotherham game. Sorry about that. We're live on LCFC TV. Brendan, how did you find that? That's now 4 wins from 4 in the friendlies, and obviously a draw as well at Rotherham today.
Yeah, no, I'm very pleased with the performance today. Difficult, of course, at times in terms of the intensity and the tempo. But the stadium's only a quarter full, but I was really pleased from a fitness perspective, which is the main idea. Lots of the players got through the first 90 minutes, so I'm happy with that. From a tactical perspective, we played a different system, and I was so pleased with that element of the game, how the players adapted to that, and I thought they were very good, and because it's a system that you can have no ego when you play it. You have to run, you have to work, but you got to create space and lots of movement, and they did that. So that really pleased me, and mentally, like I said, they were much more concentrated second half. I felt cleaner with their passing, quicker with their passing, and we created opportunities throughout the game. So really good exercise against lots of players. They're experienced in the Premier League, and it was good all round.
You mentioned there a little bit of the change of system. What was the thinking behind that? The fact that it was a friendly and you were able to experiment somewhat? Yeah,
it's a system I've used a lot throughout my coaching career. So when I first came in, we primarily played 4-3-3 through to the end of the season. But I like my teams to play out of different systems. The style will always remain the same, but the systems change. And to play that well in that first game, playing in that system, I was really pleased, because Stoke are a team that play that and understand that system very well. So it was a really good exercise for us.
Just looking ahead now to Friday and the Atalanta game at King Power Stadium, how excited are you for that one?
Yeah, very much so. We've had 4 weeks now of pre-season, which has gone really well. Lots of players getting good fitness, and we're building momentum, which is important. And it's not all about the winning at this stage of the season, of course, but it's you're experimenting, but it always helps, and to win another game away from home and keep our concentration to see it through is nice at this stage of the season, and allows you to really focus then leading into next week.
I understand you've not had a chance to see the goals as we've established from Rotherham, but a 2-2 draw, and as you've referenced as well, 90 minutes for a lot of players as well.
Yeah, so it's good. I'll see the Rotherham game. I'll watch it over the weekend. But yeah, it was the idea was to get 2 level games that were going to be a step up from our previous games. Try and get as many players. We can come here with 1 game and the players not really benefit, and they will benefit, of course, but they might only get 60-65 minutes, and others don't play. So our plan was always get 2 teams out playing, give as much game time into them as we can. And like I say, but we're 2 weeks to go now before the start of the season, so we want to get the players as many minutes. And so it looks like it's worked well for us.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Good man. Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, let's see them again.
The thoughts of Brendan Rodgers there with Dan Bates. I'm still joined here in the commentary box by Jerry Taggart and Matt Elliott. Guys, I think Brendan Rodgers seemed pretty satisfied with his side's work there this afternoon.
Yeah, understandably so. I mean, he's got a good result. A decent-ish performance. As he said, in the second half they were perhaps a little bit slicker once they'd got accustomed to their role and the system they were playing. But it was quite interesting to see what his response was there. To the question from Dan regarding the system. Was it to counter Stoke, or was it something that he just wants to put into practice for future, for down the line? Will he adapt his system according to the opposition in the Premier League games? We don't know, but he's had a look at it in a game atmosphere, and they acquitted themselves reasonably well.
For the moment, Matt, thank you. We're going to go back downstairs now because we can get some more post-match reaction. Dan is now with Ricardo Pereira.
Yeah, thank you very much, James. Ricardo, another good run out and another victory. How was that for you today?
It feels very good. Another win, another good game. We played more than we're used to play, more time. That's important to get our fitness better and improving to the beginning of the Premier League.
We've seen with all of the games in pre-season so far, they've all been challenging, they've all been tough, the opposition that you've played.
Yeah, of course, it's always difficult because we are starting the season against teams that maybe have more time than us in pre-season, so that matter to get in shape, get used to the teammates again, and it takes time, and it's always important to keep winning, keep improving. That's it.
Looking at the Leicester goals today, there were elements of individuality about them, but they were very much team goals, weren't they?
Yeah, of course. It's for that we are training and playing. We want the teamwork to be better and to improve, to work as a team, and because we know as a team we are stronger than individually.
The final friendly coming up is on Friday against Atalanta, a team that are going to be playing in the Champions League, so that'll be a big test as well. How much are you looking forward to that one?
I'm looking forward, and we are going to play at King Power, so even better with our fans. I think it's going to be a very good test before the start of the season, and like I said before, I'm looking forward.
Just finally, then a couple of weeks out from the Premier League, how do you feel your personal summer has been and your personal pre-season has been?
My summer was good with family. No, I'm joking. No, it was good to get back with the teammates, with the team, to improve, keep improving. Since the last season, we want to continue the momentum that we finished the Premier League, and like I said, we are looking forward and we want to do better than last season.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. Thank you.
Ricardo Pereira there speaking to Dan downstairs. We can look at the second half highlights now. And Leicester's best chance early on was through Jamie Vardy, but the angle just too tight, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a lovely ball. This exquisite pass here from Maddison outside the right foot. As you say, Jamie, tight angle. In the end, it's well wide. It's just that tenacity and hunger that Jamie Vardy has to make sure he gets a shot off.
And following that chance from Jamie Vardy, I think we're going to see the goal now, which was a spectacular finish, Matt.
Well, as Dan mentioned there, you know, it's an excellent build-up, good team goal as well as the individual finish from Albrighton. He'll be delighted with that. You know, the touch was just right, set himself up lovely and just stroked it home, top corner. But that link up again, Tielemans, Pereira, we've seen it numerous times, the back end of last season and already numerous times in this pre-season.
Yeah, and Mark Albrighton's one of those players that Brendan's sort of picking out and saying, I need more goals from you. He needs more goals from his midfielders, whether they're playing wide or not. So it's a real confidence boost for Mark Albrighton.
Well, second goal pre-season, isn't it? You know, he's getting in dangerous areas, more so than he has done previously.
And this week, the equaliser for Stoke. And I think they'll be struggling to claim this one as a deliberate finish.
Well, I think Nick Powell will give it a go, though. He's not shy, he isn't coming forward, is he? But even he's got a little wry smile there, hasn't he? But Kasper was caught on the hop by it, wasn't it? And disappointed. It was the only one single place it could have gone in without him getting a touch. But Jerry mentioned there about Butland's abilities there, getting across the goal well. A great strike from Madison.
Yeah, it's a good save. He's wanting him to put it there. You can see that the Butland thinks he's got that covered. He has got it covered, but he has to pull off a good save all the same.
Again, Pereira getting 4 little bodies in the box here. The 5/6, the one on the periphery there on the edge of the box. Perez, I thought, surprisingly, he got better the longer the game went on, because I thought he might be a little bit out of sorts because, you know, he's missed a couple of games and playing catch up, and he played the full 90, didn't he? Which is stands him in good stead for coming games. But
this is the winner from Tielemans.
Yeah, but I was just saying to myself, as the ball's come out to Ben Chilwell, well worked by Perez, nice little turn, well weighted pass. I thought, come on Ben, produce across the consequence, and he did. And
I think he's actually trying to pick Perez out. He's made that late run into the box, but
yeah,
you know, Tielemans was there as backup, which again, Brendan Rodgers be looking to get more bodies into the box just for that same scenario.
That's it, you make your own luck, Jerry, don't you? And the balls have been fizzed across, they're pulled back, they're hard to defend, aren't they?
So it's finished here, Stoke 1, Leicester City 2. And we need to go over to Rotherham now to get the full-time reaction there from Nick Walsh.
Rotherham United 2, Leicester City 2. Kelechi Iheanacho, who might have had a first-half hat-trick, opened the scoring on 11 minutes before Paul Wald's men rallied just before half-time. Equaliser through on-loan Norwich City striker Carlton Morris. Iheanacho got his rewards after the break on 71 minutes with a smart finish after Kyle Vassell had a goal ruled out for offside, but the Millers weren't done, and an equaliser from defender Michael Ayikwe, who bundled the ball home after following up his own header, which came back off the post. A good workout here for the Foxes. The only sour note, an injury to Papi Mendy. It's finished Rotherham United 2, Leicester City 2.
So a draw there at Rotherham. It's finished here, Stoke 1, Leicester City 2, and I guess really, as the points we were making in commentary, you know, Stoke are a week away from their season, Leicester is still 2 weeks out, so that was good. The only time Schmeichel was beaten was through a fluke. He saved a penalty, and they scored 2 goals to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and again, you know, it's a team game, but there's a lot of individuals that will take a lot of confidence out of from today. And we talked about Casper making a couple of mistakes with a ball at his feet, more than redeemed himself with a penalty save. Mark Albrighton scoring, Ricardo Pereira just carrying on his great work rate up and down the right hand side, and obviously you've got Perez just trying to fit into that system, looking good. Madison looking good. Vardy, okay, didn't have a lot of opportunities today, but you know what you're going to get from him. So it's looking exciting times again for Leicester City.
And Matt, just finally, plenty of positives to take overall then?
Oh, I think without a doubt. I mean, no, Stoke haven't had the best of time over the last couple of seasons, but they're still a big club. You know, they've got some good, experienced players, as Brendan Rodgers mentioned there, and they're determined to try and turn things around. And as hard as they tried, they came up short against Leicester, who weren't at their best. They were trying to adapt to a new system, finding their way a little bit. But even so, the greater quality, the better class shone through, I think, in the end, and deserved the victory, and lots of positives to take, yeah, for sure.
So Albrighton and Tielemans with the goals here. My thanks go to Matt Elliott and Joe Taggart, who've been alongside us this afternoon. A victory again for Leicester City in pre-season. 4 wins out of 4 now. They'll try and do it to make it 5 out of 5 on Friday night against Atalanta. We'll see you then, but from everyone here in Staffordshire, it's goodbye for now.